This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. Delighted to be here with the champ. We're here at the Wembley Stadium. Daniel Dubois v Oleksandr Usyk 2. Fabio, thanks for joining me. What did you make of what you just saw up there, the press conference, launch press conference for the rematch?
Yeah, interesting. Little bits of back and forth, some funny clickbaity moments, some little bits said and that. But overall, went how you would have thought it would have gone, especially an Usyk press conference. He's not going to start flipping tables and kicking off and this, that and the other. He's going to play a few little games and mind games and that. But aside from that, pretty chill and relaxed.
We've seen the heavyweight landscape really opening up now. Obviously, you're a massive part of that. When you look at these guys, I know you've got your own big fight coming up. Wembley Stadium, you're obviously going to be fighting at your home club Ipswich in a not too distant future. But when you see this, how close are we to seeing Fabio Wardley in fights like this? And does it really give you make the fire burn for you to get involved in that?
Yeah, look, I was at Eubank Benn at the weekend, and then I'm here watching all this and all the setup and everything, and I've then in the mix of that I've got my own stadium fight. So yeah, look, I'm right on the edge of these monumental occasions. I'm right there, so I've still got a job to do, still got a task to focus on and make sure I tick off, but I'm right behind these guys, and I've been saying to everyone that, look, once I do get through Miller, once I do tick that job off, I'm going to be knocking on these guys' doors and saying, hey, look, I've done my bit now. It's me and you, it's me and Daniel, it's me and Usyk, it's me and whoever, but whoever's got hold of those belts are the people I'll be after.
We know Daniel's obviously a destructive puncher. We saw his fight with Jarrell Miller. Took him 12 rounds to break Miller down. How much do you look at that fight in preparation for your own fight with Miller?
Yeah, look, we've watched that fight a lot. There's a lot of takeaways there of how to go about it, and also some ways of how not to go about it as well. Don't get me wrong. Daniel put on a good performance and got the win, but there's other areas to improve on there as well. So we're looking at it from both angles. It's not the only fight we're looking at as well, but we know with Miller how he comes, what he brings, his type of fight, his style. So the planning and preparation for that has been going really well.
We know Jerrell comes with a talk. He's a big talker. Saw your press conference with him, got quite lively. A man like yourself, obviously mentally strong with what you do, but does any of that affect you? Does it get in your head at all? I know that's what he was trying to do.
No, not at all. I've had my back and forths. I've had my opponents that have been shouting and screaming, get in my face, do all this, do all that. It's never fazed me before, and it's never gonna faze me in my career. It's not something that I put any stock into. All that bravado, all that kind of gamesmanship. I don't play in them games. Like, I'm happy to join in for a laugh and a joke and have a mess around with you on the verbals. But when you want to start getting up and slapping tables and doing this and that, everyone knows you're doing too much. Everyone knows you're showing off for no reason now. So no, I don't read into it at all.
Every time in your career so far that you stepped up, Nathan Gorman, then Fraser Clark, you've obviously delivered. Fraser is obviously a very, very credible opponent, Olympian. Do you consider Jarrell Miller to be the toughest fight of your career so far, or would you put Fraser Clark ahead of that?
No, I think Miller is the toughest. He's a tough guy. He's well experienced in dealing with these top echelon, these top level fighters, like your Daniels, like in prep for AJ and Andy Ruiz and whoever else on his record he's gone through. So look, he's more accustomed to being at this higher level, which probably makes him a bit more relaxed, and he just is what he is. He is a big, strong kind of wrecking machine that wants to come forward and get stuck in. So yeah, I'd probably say he's the biggest test so far.
Now, of course, you're not going to overlook anyone, especially coming up against a guy like Jarrell Miller. But if you do come through that fight, which we hope you do and we expect that you will, how long is it before we see you involved in something like this, before you're knocking on the doors of the U6 and the Daniel Dubois?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's too far away at all. WBA #1, when that got announced at the beginning of the year, it did raise a few eyebrows, so I almost felt like I had a point to prove, so I had to pick out someone to prove that point against, basically, and Miller was the guy. So once we get through him, I think that then says, okay, cool, Fabio is at that world level. He has beat one of them top guys, some of the top boys. He can compete with those top echelon guys. So that will be the goal once Miller's dealt with.
How do you see the fight with Miller going, Fabio?
Look, I think it's going to be a mix of a few things. It's going to be a war. I can't help myself but get stuck into a battle, but get stuck into a war. I enjoy it. I thrive in it too much, I think. But there is going to be a level of tactics in there as well. We are going to have to play the game because I can't just try and match him for what he's best at. I need him to play my game and me not get sucked into his. But one way or another, it's going to be entertaining.
And just a couple more from me, Fabio. Did you get, obviously you watched the fight on the weekend, Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. Unbelievable fight.
Yeah.
I don't think there was too many arguments about the result. I mean, how did you see it?
Yeah, I had it pretty much the same. A point or two to Chris was about how I had it, really. Just credit to the pair of them, though, because to live up to that hype, that history, was one hell of a feat, and they really managed to do it and pull it off. So we've seen it so many times where there's been massive build-ups to fights and people haven't been able to pull that off. It's just been anticlimactic when the main event has turned up, but them two really turned up that night and they put on a hell of a show. It was very close, but I did kind of edge it to Eubank.
We know that Derrick Chisora was in line. He was made mandatory to fight Dubois. Obviously, this fight's been made a lot of calling for it with the controversy in the first fight. Some people saying that Derrick, they didn't want to see that fight for Derrick. What do you make of that? Do you think Derrick's earned his shot, and could we potentially see you in with a Derrick Chisora? I know it's sort of jumping the gun a bit, but with the if you come through Jarrell Miller.
Yeah, look, maybe. I think Derrick has earned everything in the sport. I think he's been in the game long enough. He's given us everything. He's given us special moments, unforgettable moments, chaotic moments. He's given it all. So look, if his last fight is a shot at the world title, then yeah, that's well and truly deserved. And if it's not, but it's an O2 headline or whatever he wants to do, I think he's earned his weight in gold in boxing to finish his career however he wants.
Final question from me, Fabio. What's your prediction for Daniel Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk, the rematch?
I do think Usyk is going to come through again. Don't get me wrong. I think Daniel's going to be better. His tactics going into it will be better. Obviously, his confidence and stuff is obviously much higher as well. But yeah, I do think Usyk is just a puzzle that no one's been able to figure out yet, and I don't know if Daniel has got that IQ to figure it out just as of yet.
Fabio Wardley, thanks very much for swinging through the ropes boxing, and best of luck with your fight with Jerrell.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.